What's up guys, it's Mega giving you another Duelist Link Evolution. Today guys, I'm doing you a zombie deck. The only reason I'm doing this one rather than making ones that you guys have actually requested is because I already had this deck. I just decided to do it. I didn't actually make a video for it, so this is the first zombie deck I've actually made a video for. This deck's of course my own opinion at the end of the day, and it's completely cool if you disagree with any of the cards that are shown in this video. Zombies guys is one of the most probably, in my opinion, my honest opinion, one of the best decks in this game. Before the update and even after the update, they're just a very controlling and very annoying deck to get around. And you'll see why, especially in the replay, you'll see why it's super annoying to get over this deck. With that guys, if you're struggling to make any decks shown so far, I highly recommend you check out the card hub. Not only if I tell you the card is in this game or not, I'll tell you where to find it, such as campaign, challenge mode, or even a card pack. If that does include the new cards, that is in the description down below, along with my Twitch, where I do try and stream as best I can, playing this game and also other games that I love. And with that guys, let's get into the video. Starting us off guys is Danger Big 4. We are running a few dangers because they just give it some play, especially if you want to send certain cards to the graveyard, which is what you obviously want to do. So why am I running Big 4? Is Big 4 is just a level 8 and it's kind of got 3,000 attack, which is nice. All the dangers have an effect guys where you have to reveal them, and then one card is chosen at random. If the card that's discarded wasn't Danger Bigfoot, you special summon Bigfoot from your hand. If it was Danger Bigfoot, you get to draw a card, and then they all have like different effects that were activated if they were the discarded card. So for instance, if Danger Bigfoot was discarded, we get to draw you get to draw one card, and if this card was discarded, you get to target one face-up card your opponent controls and destroy it, which is pretty useful actually. And then as for Mothman, again, if this card was not discarded card, you get to special summon it from your hand, and if you do, you get to draw one card. And if this card was the discarded card, and if this card was discarded, both players get to draw one card, and then they have to discard one card. So again, you kind of search through your deck, trying to get those key cards, and you want to get certain cards in the graveyard. Danger Nessie, again, just like the other ones, if Nessie wasn't the chosen card, you get to special summon Nessie, and then you get to draw one card. And if this card was discarded, you get to add a danger monster from your deck to the hand, so you just keep doing the cycle. Jackalope, and if Jackalope guys is not the one that was and if Jackalope was the one that was discarded, you get to special summon a danger from your deck, which is just absolutely fantastic to go into Union Carrier and to go into Crystal or Needle Fiber. And Tsushi Oko, I can't pronounce the snake guys one. If this card is the discarded one, you can special if this card is discarded, you get to special summon it. So it's kind of like a free summon. You don't really care what this card is. Pretty much you get special summon no matter what. And that's it for the dangerous guys. They're just there just to get key cards into the graveyard, and you'll see why in the replay. Moving on, we do have 2 copies of Doomking Barbaroach. This card is like your big boss monster in the deck. Absolutely OP. Junior standby phase, if there is a face-up field spell, this bad boy resurrects, and of course with Zombie World, it's going to resurrect the field every turn. So that means you can just link summon in with this card for days, fusion summon it for days, and it will just resurrect every single time. It does have a few effects guys, where when a zombie monster accepts Doomking activates its effect, a few effects activate. This is a quick play effect, so you can do it in either player's turn. You get to negate that card effect, or you get to banish one monster on the field or graveyard. Please bear in mind it's a monster and not spell or trap, because I kind of did forget about that in the replay. And 1 copy of Dragon Buster, guys. We are running Union Carrier, so you just equip this to the Doom King with Union Carrier. It stops your opponent from basically using the extra deck, because a monster equipped with because when Dragon Buster is equipped to a monster, they can't special summon from the extra deck, just locks them out. 2 copies of Glow Up Bloom. Glow Up Bloom, guys, is just absolutely fantastic. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can banish it, and then you get to add a level 5 or higher zombie monster from your deck to the hand. Or if Zombie World is in play, you get to special summon it, which is just fantastic. However, if you activate its effect, it locks you into only zombie monsters for the turn. So I highly recommend you going into like your Needle Fiber, especially your Union Carrier play, using Glow Up Bloom as material, because then you get to banish it from the graveyard, special summon Doom King, then you can use the Union Carrier's ability. Gozuki. During your main phase, guys, you can send one zombie monster from your deck to the grave. So you can send the Glow Up Bloom straight away. Boom. You can send our Banshee, so you can get the field spell in play. You could send Doom King, because then obviously during the next standby phase it'll resurrect. There's lots of plays you can do, guys, with this card, and if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can banish one zombie monster from your grave and special summon a zombie monster from your hand. So again, just special summon for days. 2 copies of Jacko Bolan. You can special summon this bad boy by discarding one zombie monster, again getting them in the graveyard. During either play's main phase, guys, quick play, you can it does have a quick effect where you can banish this card from your graveyard, target one zombie in either opponent's graveyard, and special summon that to the field. Which is just great because, say for instance you just banish this bad boy, bring back, I don't know, one of your links that you want to, or one of your powerful fusions, and then during the standby, so during the end phase of the turn, it just comes back. Just continue going forth. And because it's a level 7, it's great for Glow Up Bloom to go into our synchro plays. 2 copies of Mizuki. You can banish this bad boy from your grave to target a zombie monster in your grave and special summon it. So again, all these cards like effects activate while in the graveyard and stuff, and that's why the dangers just work so well. 2 copies of Necro World Banshee. If this card is on the field or in the graveyard, you can banish it from play in order to automatically activate Zombie World from your hand or deck. So Banshee is just great for getting Zombie World in play because, again, Glow Up Bloom's effect can special summon the monster if Zombie World is in play. 3 copies of Shinaru Solitaire, I believe that's how you say it. If this, you contribute one zombie monster that includes itself to special summon one zombie with 0, one zombie tuner, sorry, with 0 defense points from your deck. So this card brings out Union Zombie and also just bring out the Glow Up Bloom. And that's pretty much the reason why you're going to go by sacrificing this card to just bring out other cards. And finally, 3 copies of Uni Zombie, such a good card, guys, for a tuner. It has a couple of effects. You can target one face-up monster on the field, discard 1 card, and if you do, increase that target's level by 1. And you can target one face-up monster on the field. Also, you can send one zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard, and if you do, increase that target's monster by 1. So you can activate both effects. You can pretty much discard 1 card and send a card from the deck to the grave. You can pretty much set up everything with this 1 card. Absolutely, like, for instance, if you've got this and Banshee in hand, you can discard this, send Banshee to the graveyard. Banshee's effect will then trigger to summon out or special summon, play the field spell. Then you could just send Glow Up Bloom to the grave to play its effect, summon out Doom King. Easy times, all because of Union Zombie. 2 copies of Call by the Grave. Stops hand traps, because, you know, hand traps are the last thing you want to do, especially when you're playing cards such as, like, special summon from the deck and special summoning, like, adding cards and searching cards, so Ash Blossom is a problem. 1 copy of Foolish Burial, guys. We have a lot of cards activate while in the graveyard, so Foolish Burial, it's just great to get to it. 1 copy of 1 for 1. This is just a way to get to Glow Up Bloom. You can send any one of your monsters to the graveyard to play it, and again, because the majority of them are going to have graveyard effects anyway, so it's not a problem. 2 copies of Super Polymerization. We are running Verte Anaconda, just gives it more play. Super Poly, guys, it's just an OP card. You can discard 1 card, fusion summon 1 monster during either player's turn, using monsters on either player's field, and your opponent cannot interrupt Super Polymerization. Because of Zombie World, opponent's monsters come zombies. We've got a fusion monster that only activates if we have that uses 2 zombies, so you just use your opponent's monsters for days. 1 copy of Terraforming just helps us search our Zombie World, because again, without Zombie World, the deck kind of falls apart. You've got this, you've got Banshee, and you can obviously draw Zombie World, so you've got like 6 attempts to get to Zombie World. 3 copies of Zombie World, speaking of which, guys, all monsters on the field and in the graveyard become zombie monsters, and neither player can tribute summon monsters except zombie monsters, so it kind of locks your opponent from tributing monsters, and also because your opponent's monsters are also classed as zombies in the graveyard, you can use Jacko Bloom's effect, or Jacko Baron, to steal your opponent's monster if they've got an OP in, and special them to your side of the field. Going on to traps, got 2 copies of them for opponents. Great hand trap, guys, if you're going second. And if you're going first, you can still set up your board with Doomking and Union Carry and then just set this. So it just gives you a little bit more protection. Its effect, guys, if it's if you want to activate it from the hand, you just can't have no cards in play. So that's where the hand trap comes in. And if you set it, it just disrupts an opponent's monster effect. So just absolutely great. And then 3 copies of Rivalry of Warlords. Such a great card, guys. Now every player can control 1 type of monster. And because of Zombie World, all monsters are going to be zombie monsters anyway. We're all running zombies, so this doesn't really affect us one little bit. It just helps you shut down your opponent from going into extra plays, because even though they've got like 2 zombies on the field, they can't go into a monster from the extra deck that's not a zombie, because technically it's a different type. They can't do that. So Rivalry Warlords just shuts down a lot of plays. And then going on to the deck, guys, we are running... So going on to the extra deck, we are running 2 copies of Dragon Necro Nefer Soul Dragon. That's a mouthful. It requires 2 zombies, guys. That's quite a super polymerization. It's such a good card for this. Must be fusion summoned. Cannot be destroyed by battle. So that's actually great. At the end of the damage step, if this card battled a monster that has basically a level, that monster's attack becomes 0. And if that monster is still face up on the field, you get a special summon a token, which is kind of great. And the tokens, attack and level become equal to the monster you basically attacked. 2, then got 1 copy of Earth Golem at Ignistar. You don't have to run this. You do not have to run this. I only run this card, guys, because Salamangreats are such a very painful deck, and a lot of players do run Cyberverse cards, even if they're not even running Salamangreats. Like for instance, you're going up against Atagnistars themselves. You're going up against forgot what archetype it is, like the Torka archetype engine. You can do Salamangreats. You see, I mean, there's Math Mechs. There's a lot of Cyberverse monsters, so you can just basically, if they've got a Cyberverse monster and a Link monster, you can just use Super Poly and nick it. You can change this if you want to for like a Shadow Winder, because obviously all of our monsters, a majority of them are dark. If your opponent plays a Shadow card, you can then go into Winder. Just shuts them down, really. And then we've got 1 copy of Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. What a card, guys. What this card is, you can if this card is fusion summoned, you can make this card gain attack equal to 1 special summon monster your opponent controls onto the end phase. And also, once per turn, you can target 1 face-up monster that's level 5 or higher, negate its effect, and Starving Venom gains its effect and name. And also, if this fusion card is destroyed, you get to destroy all special summon monsters your opponent controls. 1 copy of Bowload Savage Dragon, guys. What a card. If this card is synchro summoned, you can target 1 Link monster in your graveyard and equip it to Bowload. Bowload Savage gains half that monster's attack, and it gains a counter for each of that Link monster's rating. And basically once per turn, during average player's turn, if your opponent activates a card or effect, you can remove 1 counter to basically negate the card. So, it gives you some play. 1 copy of Psyframe Overlord Omega. During either player's main phase, guys, quick effect, you can banish both this card and 1 face up. You can banish this face-up card from the field and 1 random card from your opponent's hand onto the next standby phase. If your opponent's only got 1 card in hand and you go into Omega, you're pretty much just stopping them from having that card, so they're just having to like top deck. Or say for instance they've got no cards in hand and then they draw, you play Omega's effect, they've got no cards to play, and then during the next standby and during your opponent's next standby phase, you basically return both targets. Red Eyes Zombie Necro Dragon. This card gains 100 attack points for each zombie on the field and in the graveyard, so that does include your opponent's one. So the more monsters, the more power Zombie Necro is going to have. And when another zombie monster is destroyed by battle, you can special summon a zombie monster from either graveyard to your side of the field, which is just fantastic. So that even works because of Zombie World. Your opponent's monsters are classed as zombies. You just attack into it. Because the zombie was destroyed, you just bring back another monster. You could even bring back that same monster. Very, very, very powerful. Then 1 Shioni Shogun Say, I cannot pronounce half these guys' names. It's a zombie tuner and a zombie monster. If this card is special summoned, you get to banish 1 zombie type monster from your graveyard. This card gains attack equal to that monster's banished original attack until the end phase. And if this card is destroyed by a battle by card effect, you can target 1 of your banished zombie monsters 0 defense and return it to the grave. So you can just basically banish 1 of your monsters that have 0 defense and just give it more play. Going on to the links, guys, we've got 1 Avon Dread Survivor. I think that's how you pronounce this card's name. It has a couple of following effects, guys, where you can target one Vanguard, one Vandred card in the grave out of your hand. We're not really going to play that as effect. It's damage calculation effect. It's the only reason you're going to run this card. Where during damage calculation, if this card battles an opponent's monster, quick effect, you can send one zombie monster from your deck to the grave. That monster it battled loses attack equal to that monster's level times 200. And because you send a monster from the deck to the grave, the effects most probably can activate. So you just keep on going. It's kind of a good card, especially if your opponent locks you out of plays, especially if you've got Rivalry of Warlords. It's just easier for a Link to go into. One copy of Crystalline Needle Fiber, such a good card, guys. It needs 2 monsters, including a tuner. So you could pretty much just use this with Blow Up Bulb to go into Union Carrier if you want to, and then you can pretty much, because Glow Up Bloom was sent to the graveyard, you can pretty much just summon out another monster. You can pretty much summon your Doom King. Then you're going to play Union Carrier to perform your lock. That's pretty much all you do, guys. If this bad boy is special summoned, you can just basically summon out the Glow Up Bloom next to its link. Only reason you summon out Needle Fiber. So I had to run Nightmare Unicorn because I decided to run this over Phoenix just because Unicorn, you can target one face-up card on the field, spell or trap or monster, and then just bounce it back to the hand, and it's just fantastic, especially during... Oh, sorry, it bounces back to the deck, sorry, especially during a monster from the extra deck, it just sends it back. One copy of Link Karibo. Say the only card you've got in your hand is pretty much Zombie World, a lot of your then just dead cards, and then you Glow Up Bloom. At least then you can play Zombie World, Link, Glow Up Bloom into Link Karibo, then you can still summon your Doom King. One copy of Predaplant Verte Anaconda. Such a good card, guys, if you're going in for your Link plays, because again, you can just send Super Polymerization from your deck to the graveyard, then target 2 of your opponent's zombie monsters, because again, Zombie World makes some zombie monsters, and just go straight into our Necro Dragon. And then, of course, it has another ability where you can target one monster on the field, make it become a dark monster, because then if you've got a dark, you can go into Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. One copy of Union Carrier, guys, needs 2 monsters with the same type or attribute, and basically, when this card is Link summoned, you can target one face-up monster you control, equip it with one monster from your hand or deck with the same type or attribute. It gains 1,000 attack points. So just with this one card, guys, you're pretty much going to target your Doom King, give your Doom King, so you equip Doom King with your Buster Sword, because then it locks your opponent from the extra deck, and Doom King will gain 1,000 more attack points. And then finally, I've got Vampire Sucker. What a great card to go into, guys, especially if you're doing your zombie plays, because if you attribute a zombie monster, you can attribute monsters your opponent controls, which is just great. Gives you a bit more, just gives you a bit more play, and it has a couple of effects where you can target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to their side of the field in defense mode, and because it's zombie. Her additional effect is activated where if a zombie monster is special from the grave, you get to draw a card, and that does include your graveyard as well. So for instance, if you've got this in play and you've got Doom King on the field and you used it for Link summoning, like Link summon Doom King to bring into this, you can still resurrect Doom King, you draw a card to special from the grave, and then you've still got Doom King to interrupt plays, and you've just drew a free card. Especially if you've set Super Poly, because then you've just drew a card so you can play Super Poly. And that's it for the deck, guys. I ranted on a little bit. It's because we've got a replay coming up where, again, I'm going to do some commentary. It's only one replay, but it was such a good duel. And you can see we're enough the lockdown and everything in action. And with that, guys, I do hope this deck comes in useful. Zombies are such a very controlling deck. It really is insane. And with that, guys, I'll see you in the replays. So as up, guys, with the replay. We've only got the one replay, but it was such a good one, and you got to see the whole deck in action. It's the only reason I kept it to this one, and also to keep the video from being like super long. So we start off with this opening hand. Now you might think that's actually a very crap board, but it's actually not a bad one, because we've got the Zombie World. That's actually not a bad one. We're going first as well. So unless he's got like, I mean, we could get Ash Blossom, which is actually unfortunate. He's got 55 deck, which is a bit weird. But we've got infinite opponents, so we can set that. We've got Super Polymerization. Then we've got a Danger Monster, and we've got this guy. Like, this guy can search out our tuners, which is absolutely great. All you need realistically is to get another monster in play, and you can pretty much do the combo what we like to do. So we're going to play Zombie World first to get it onto the field. Then I decided to set Super Polymerization and Infinite Impermanence, because with the dangers, it's going to be random if like which card you're going to choose, and you could have chose those cards and discard it. I didn't particularly want that. I wanted to send a Jackalope to the graveyard, because if Jackalope sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a danger from your deck. So I decided to set the 2. Even if you can't activate the Super Poly, it's still set. And then I played this bad boy to get it on the field, so I wouldn't have to risk it. So now we can just play Jackalope. So Jackalope has to be discarded, and that way we can special summon a danger. I decided to go for this one. And then now we've got a monster in play, we sacrifice him to bring out Glow Up Bloom. Now with Glow Up Bloom, if this card is sent to the graveyard, doesn't matter how it's sent to the grave, you can now add a level 5 or higher zombie from my deck to the hand. But since Zombie World's in play, you can special summon it instead. So because now when we go into a link play, you can pretty much go into Doomking, and you have a couple of things you could do here. So you could, if you wanted to, let me just quickly make like that a sec. So you see how we could have gone into Crystalline Needle Fibre if you wanted to, and got like another one out to thin your deck out a little bit. That was kind of pointless. You could go into 30 Anaconda, but that was going to be pointless. The 2 ones you could have gone into was Vampire Sucker, because obviously it's a vampire card, which would have come in handy, especially for you to. If we did that, you could draw like other cards and all that stuff. I decided to go into Union Carrier to perform like an extra deadlock. So we're now going to go into Union Carrier. Now because Glow Up Bloom is sent to the graveyard, its effect's going to trigger. But since this has happened, it's locked us into only doing zombie monsters. So if you want to do this combo, you have to bring out Needle Fibre or Union Carrier before you play Glow Up Bloom's effect. So just keep that in mind. So now we're going to bring out the Doom King. So now with Doom King, if he activates, if a zombie monster activates his effect, Doom King can either negate that effect or banish one zombie monster from the field or graveyard, which is nice because Zombie World will make all of his monsters zombies. So that's actually a very nice thing to do. You can basically just shut down one effect, and we have infinite permanence. So between these 2 cards, you can shut down 2 monster effects, and then because we're playing Union Carrier's effect, we've now equipped Doom King with Dragon Busters. So now it's going to get 1,000 more attack points. Also, because of this card, it locks him out of the extra deck. So now the only way he can get over this. So we've got 2 negates, and we can shut down, and we've shut down his extra deck, all from just that one play. Absolutely fantastic. Yes, we can't play Super Poly because obviously we still need to draw a card. But say for instance, if he got a card to bounce, 1 card back from my hand, we could still play Super Poly, it's not a problem. We're playing, so he's got like a Math Mech deck. So he's going to weaken Doom King by 1,000 attack points, especially with his Math Mech. And his most there's no point to negate it because Doom King would have been able to negate that effect because it wasn't a zombie. In your hands, your monsters aren't classed as zombie. It's only on the field or graveyard. So now he's most probably thinking he can't summon out a monster. Why? So now he's played another monster. Normally now he'd have gone into like a rank 4 Xyz or gone into a link play. And again, because of Dragon Buster, it locks him out of doing it. He can't go into his extra deck, which he's most probably thinking, why can't I? So that's pretty much it. What I think he decides to do eventually, it does take a long time for him to figure out. I think he just sets a card and then goes to attack Union Carrier to kind of stop me from doing anything with that, which is fine. Union Carrier is not a problem. It kind of a bit of a heave because I would have liked, if we top decked a monster, I would have liked to link him to a way to go into Vampire Sucker. So the card we top decked was Jackabaron. It's kind of like a dead card because obviously we don't have another zombie in our hand to discard. So what I decided to do was play Super Poly and go into our Dragon Necro, because obviously we can steal both of his monsters because they're classed as zombie monsters because of Zombie World, and we get to bring out him. His monster's effect is going to activate basically... this is kind of a misplay for me, guys. So, because he's played a monster effect, I could have played Doom King's effects negate it. I should have done that, but I misread his effect for some reason. I got it in my head where I could banish any card, so I thought, right, I'm going to banish his face down. Crap. I realised after I chose it, it was only monsters, so that's kind of the downside. So in hindsight, you should have just negated that monster effect. You shouldn't have banished it, because his monster effect was going to basically cut Doom King's attack points in half for one turn. So yeah, I should have. I didn't see it says banish one monster. So what we ended up doing was just banishing his meg. Yeah, our monster's attack was cut in half, but we still dealt damage. So you'll see on the next turn we've gone down to 100 attack points or 100 life points. If I just negated that effect, we would have won basically on the next turn. So like now, so now he's still like, what can you do? I know now if he summons a math mech, he's going to basically play that trap card to destroy Doom King and get rid of and basically open up the lock, because as long as Doom King's in play, he basically can't special summon. Now that lock's no longer in play. Now he can play monster from his extra deck. I thought he was going to synchro summon here, but he decides to go into an Xyz play to bring out Pathamath. So now Pathamath's ability activates. He's going to now detach 2 Xyz materials in order to play its second effect, which is add 1 Math Mech from his deck to his hand. But we're going to play Infinite Permanence to stop him from searching. So now he can't search out any of his cards. He's just got a dead monster in play, and I think he's just going to set a card. Alright, that's all I can do. He's got 1 dead monster on the field. So now we draw and we got another zombie world, and then Doom King, obviously because it's the next standby phase, Doom King resurrects, which is a pretty nice fair, because say Doom King resurrects because of field spells in play. Now we've got a few options. You can't swap Doom King to attack mode. So I was like, what could I do? I could have gone into Vampire Sucker. We wouldn't be able to attack his monster, but then his face up, but then Doom King would resurrect again. I decided to go into Verte Anaconda because by going into Verte Anaconda, it doesn't matter if our Doom King is sent to the graveyard, because during the next standby phase, he's going to resurrect anyway. And we're going to, basically, because of our field spell, Anaconda is now treated as a zombie. That card is treated as a zombie. So now we can send Super Poly from our deck to the grave and just fusion summon both our monsters and go for an attack. So if I just attacked like normal, he would have only lost 1,000 life points. So because we're going to play Anaconda's effect and fusion summon, we can pretty much make him lose 3,000 life points. So you see what I meant? If I played Doom King's effect, we would have most probably, we would have won with this one attack, which is unfortunate. So we're now going to put him down to 1,000 life points. So you might think, why did I do this? There was no point getting rid of Doom King and doing that for the board, just 3,000 attack. But you're going to see here, next standby phase, Doom King resurrects because there's a field spell in play. So technically, from that, we didn't lose anything. All we did was link summon into Anaconda, did a free fusion summon for free, did 1,000 more damage than we would have done. No, actually, no, wait. 1,000, no, we would have done 2,000 more damage than we would have done. And we got rid of his monster in the process. And during the next standby phase, we literally got the exact same board that we had. It's literally free summon for days, guys. That's why zombies are such a arse to go into. And now again, it's just going to lower our monster's attack, place our monster in defense, and I think now he forfeits now. Because he plays Page of Book, I think he can go into rank 4 play. No, he can't go into a rank 4 play, but he can go into a link play. But I think he decides to just quit because, even if we went into his monster and link summoned, the effect wouldn't really activate because of Doom King. We could just negate his monster effect. So I think he just decided to end it here, because especially because our Drago can't be destroyed, or our Necro Dragon can't be destroyed in battle, and that monster, and during the next turn's end phase, he'll just get all his power back. So that's really the deck, guys. You see what I mean by control? That was just one deck, one duel, which took us 10 minutes to explain. But you see how the deck works. It's all about controlling your opponent, negating stuff, because obviously they're going to be zombies. You can just have 2 to 3 negates. You're going to use their monsters' effects, because obviously Super Poly and Verte and Anaconda. If we were linked into Vampire Sucker, you'd pretty much be able to special summon, get a draw for days. So you see what I mean, guys? Absolute fantastic deck. I really do like zombies. So it used to be whenever I went up against them in the old update, you know enough, if they can get out the field spell, you've near enough lost. You had to destroy the field spell as quickly as you can, otherwise you just lost against them. So yeah, that's it for the deck, guys. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up. It makes me see if you like the deck or not. Stay tuned, guys, for the next deck we're gonna do, which I don't know yet. We'll figure that out. And wherever you are in the world, guys, please remember, stay healthy, stay safe, take care.